Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. After getting absolutely humiliated at home against Tennessee on Saturday, turns around and goes to Vanderbilt, goes to Nashville, plays what amounts to a home game. You could hear the Go Big Blue chants very loudly on TV and wins 109-77. Robert Dillingham got it going again. He had 20 points, 9 assists, just a single turnover on 12 shots. Antonio Reeves had 24. Justin Edwards, Henson, it's nice to see him kind of get it going a little bit. All told, there were 6 Wildcats in double figures. Big Z, 11 points, 7 boards, 6 offensive rebounds. He had a dime to Aaron Bradshaw for a lob, and before he even got back on defense, he was like trying to chest bump him. It was he looked like an 8-year-old celebrating a layup that he just made. But I'm happy to see him kind of get it going. He also fouled out in 12 minutes, which is a very impressive thing to do. What do you make of Kentucky? Are they back, Henson? Is Kentucky back? Has this convinced you?
I don't know if you suit, me, you, Rob, Rob, Jeff, and our 2 producers against Vanderbilt. I don't know what the spread would be, but we might could cover, honestly. So, I'm not gonna give them too much credit tonight. But they
Can you score better now? Henson, can we throw it into you in the post? Could you score against Vandy?
At the end of my career, I was transitioning to the perimeter, so I got the 3-ball threat. I think that's a little better these days. So but
so the answer is no. We can't throw it to you in the post.
If you can throw it to me in the post right now today, 2 years done from the league, I'll go get you a bucket. You're gonna have to double team me probably, But
hey, Henson, yeah. Tyler taught me this. Chicks dig jump hooks, man. Make basketball physical again. Let's go.
They called me. Listen, my nickname is J Hook. Like that's my go-to move, the left jump hook. So I'm with it. Me and T Hands, we're right here together. But Kentucky looked like, that's the offensive ceiling that they can bring to the table. I don't think, they played defense decent, 35% from the field, 32% from 3. But, they out-rebounded them 50-28 too. So, this is the Kentucky that we want to see and expect to see. But then again, we don't know what we're going to see. I think he switched up the starting lineup today too, right? Did he switch up the
starting lineup? Yeah, but they were dealing with some injuries. No, Trey Mitchell was out because of a back injury. Yeah, and DJ Wagner is still dealing with the ankle.
Yeah. So this might be something to look at. It looks like he played all the big. It looks like all the bigs are splitting minutes too, or today they did. So it looks like it's going to be a committee thing, which I think will be good for Kentucky. But if they play at the level they can play offensively and just guard a little bit, they'll be there at the end. But the way this season, they don't have any more slip-ups to win the SEC, right? They don't have any more slip-ups. And, you start to look at how the seeding goes with the tournament, right? Like, you slip down too far and you're going to have to see potentially, like, second weekend Purdue, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you're going to potentially have to see, if you're an 8 or 9 seed, you're going to have to see, 8 or 9 seed is going to be a team that could beat everyone, right? Like a Rutgers or maybe like a Nebraska, right? A team that's scary or plucky. We used that word earlier. So Kentucky's got to start rounding off some wins because they could get a bad matchup early. And being as a young team, they won't have a chance to get their feet wet and warm up and kind of say, okay, well, this is the tournament. They might have to play a dog right off the bat, and that's not going to bode well for them.
Yeah, right now our current bracket projection has them as a 6 playing Virginia in the first round of the tournament.
Exactly.
I don't know if that would go
very
well for him.
You don't want that.
Yeah, that is not what you want if you're John Calipari.
Yep. I just want to say real quick, I spent too much time watching film on Kentucky this morning, trying to figure out, I wanted to make a little like X's and O's breakdown. This is how you fix Kentucky's defense. And I don't know if it's fixable, man. Like Reed Shepherd is lost off the ball. Like he needs a lot of repping out there. Robert Dillingham has some of the worst defensive plays that I have ever seen watching film. He's lost on that end of the floor. Aaron Bradshaw is still figuring out like what to do. There are times, John, where you can watch them play and you will not know what ball screen coverage they are in. right? Most of the time, you should be able to figure out at least what you're trying to do, right? You don't know if they're in drop. You don't know if they're hedging, because you'll have Robert Dillingham will be trying to ice a ball screen while Aaron Bradshaw's up there hedging on the ball screen, and you just got a guy with a wide open lane to the layup. You don't have any help side because Trey Mitchell's not doing anything down there.
That's just communication. That's all that is, communication, which is the number one thing that I struggle with as a young player in the NBA, and what all young players struggle with, just communication. And so that's not going to go away. And they don't have like a veteran. I mean, they got Trey Mitchell, but they don't have a veteran big.
But he's not a good defender. He's not a good defender. They don't have, I've said this, they don't have a plus defender on their team.
Yep.
I've said Antonio Reeves, I think, is their best perimeter defender. I know you said Reed Shepard, Rob. I think it's Reeves just because he's a veteran.
I'm taking back my Reed Shepard is their best perimeter take after watching the film and diving into it.
He's not good. He's not good. Here, Henson.
Here's what he is, and this is why it's tough to evaluate individual defenders, is that he has terrific anticipation. He jumps passing lane. He makes steals. He can make plays on the ball. Like if you're guarding at the point of attack, he is a pest, right? But when you ask him to like play a switching 1 through 4 defense, if you ask him to play off the ball and make rotations, like that's the other thing is when they kind of get into those like scramble drill kind of situations, they don't know whose rotation is what. So you get a lot of these wide open threes because you got to scramble here and the wrong guy makes a rotation to one place and all of a sudden 2 guys are left wide open. It's just, you know what it is? It's this simple. There's a whole bunch of freshmen that looked like they never really were coached up on the defensive end of the floor before they got there, which is normal. And also what happens when your freshman class is not Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and Marquise T, right? Like it just –
But how much time, Rob, how much time have they spent on offense over defense? You can see it this year. How much time have you just focused, if you're John Calipari and John Welch, on your offense instead of your defense in the preseason and early in the season?
Yep. I do think that they are good enough where if you don't run into a team like a Tennessee that is really, really good when it comes to executing in the half court, that can run some complicated actions offensively, like you probably should be fine. But if they run into something like let's just say like a UConn will beat them by 50 because they are just going to tear apart that defense with their movement. If they run into someone like a Purdue and the things that they can do, like it's just, I feel like Kentucky's one of those teams where they are going to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, and you're going to have a hard time seeing them find a way to be able to pull an upset against one of like the top 5 or 6 teams in college basketball. Let's move on. I mentioned UConn.
Wait, I have one last thing, Rob. I have one last thing to close the Kentucky book. All right. So now in the last 48 hours, Henson, Rob Dauster has now said 3 things. He has said that Kentucky cannot be a Final Four team, John Calipari is on the hot seat, and their defense cannot be fixed. I just want it out there.
I believe all 3 of those things. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.